Okay. So thank you for joining this interview. Again, for the first question, who are you? What school do you go to? And what is your year and major?
My name is Isabella Medicini. I go to Regis University and I am a junior, and my major is nursing with a minor in healthcare administrations.
Okay, great. Awesome. What mental disability do you have?
I have dyslexia and then ADHD, which has been recently diagnosed in like 2018.
Okay. Did you feel that your high school helped with your mental disability, or did you feel that they could have done more? How was it?
Um,
How was your experience like?
for high school, I technically didn't have accommodations through the school. Like they knew that I had like dyslexia and like learning disabilities just because I like told them that. And I was always like in like what is it called? Like uh what is it called? Like extra like help classes. So it's like
Mhm.
and it was like basically like study hall in a sense where like there was teachers and tutors
Kind of like a
there to
directed
help
study
you.
hall.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so that was helpful for my high school, but I wasn't really I didn't have the documents. Well, I did have the documents, but I didn't have like the accommodations where I could have like even more accommodations. If that
Okay,
makes
so
sense.
do you feel like your school could have done your high school? Would you want them to do more, or were they helpful?
I think it was more like my parents' fault because they thought that I would have been fine, which I was fine. Like I didn't, struggle like too much in high school, but they could have, I guess my parents could have done more if they wanted to,
Okay.
just because, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So do you feel that your college helped you enough with your mental disability? If so, like in what ways have they helped? And if not, what ways do you think they could do better?
Regis has helped a lot with like my dyslexia and ADHD, just because they give me like the correct combinations that I need. Um, with extra time, having a reader speak to me about like with a test, and like they give out tutors which are free, which has been really helpful throughout my 3 years here at Regis. I think the only thing that they could better assist me with is that providing like audiobooks, which I've had like I have like had or I've had spoken to them about it, and they still haven't really done that or provided me with like audiobooks. So I think like reaching out about that.
Okay, just to backtrack a little bit, what kind of accommodations do you have at Regis, if you don't mind sharing that?
No, I don't mind. I have extra time, so double. So yeah, double. I have a reader, so somebody that comes into the room with me that speaks or like speaks like talks or I guess speaks me the test, which is because with the whole hacking thing, they usually would have a computer do it, but because of that hacking, they still aren't able to have that resource for me. So that's why they have somebody like physically come in and read it to me. Um, so those are, and I can have audiobooks as well, but I haven't really used those. And then I guess tutoring, which is I guess everybody can easily access tutoring, but also I am able to get extra tutoring hours too. So
Okay, thanks. So, did you ever feel discriminated against and or stigmatized by your mental disability in high school or when you were younger or even in college by either a classmate, a roommate, coach, or teacher?
um I don't think I ever felt like discriminated against. It was just more I in like in high school and elementary school, a lot of my friends were very, very smart, where they're at very like good colleges or not good colleges, but kind of very like high end and like you need to have like a high GPA to get into those colleges. So I think I never really felt discriminated or stigmatized, but I think I just felt
Different?
comparing myself to them, I always felt like worse. But in the same
Hmm.
sense, like I kind of grew out of that as I got older. So like
Hmm.
in high school, like not really. And same with college. I don't really feel discriminated against.
Okay.
So
Do you feel like Reach just kind of helps you with that because they have such a good kind of
yeah.
sense? program and they kind of make you feel like it's okay to have a mental disability in college?
Yeah, I think like being in a competitive like major as like a nursing, and also having a mental disability is hard, but I realize that like I still can do it and I have the accommodations to be able to be like what I want, and like I know I can achieve those like goals with like accommodations and the help I get from others.
Okay.
So
Did a teacher at college ever refuse to like move an exam or an assignment because they didn't believe that you had a mental disability?
no, because I had the documents to prove it and back it
Mhm.
up.
So like Regis never had, Regis would never question the documents.
No, I mean, I had teachers who like recommended maybe I should get accommodation because I told them that I did have these mental disabilities, and they're like, you should possibly, get accommodation so then it could help you and approve,
Mhm.
which worked and was beneficial.
So you feel like Regis has done a good job not, kind of saying, discriminating that you don't have a disability, and they make you kind of feel included and making sense that you do have one and it's okay. And, you know,
Yes, I
okay.
think Regis does a good job.
Okay. So did you choose your college or Regis because of the disability
No,
abilities and its resources?
no, I chose Regis because of the nursing program um and how like great it was, and how like it was like a 4-year program in and out type of way. And like I didn't really talk to um I did talk to I think administration um person when I got here, and I had a tour about like accommodations and like tutoring and all that stuff, which that helped. But me like realized that Regis was a place for me. But I didn't look into their disabilities because before being re-diagnosed, I always thought that I had like a mild dyslexia where it wasn't that severe. But so it wasn't like I had that big of an issue with my disabilities. So yeah.
Again, sorry to backtrack one more time. So with your friends though, getting into really big colleges and, nice colleges, did you feel limited when trying to find a college because of that?
Um, I think I knew in high school that I did my best and I did what I could, and I did everything. Like I went to tutoring, I went to office hours. I had a SAT private tutor that my parents were able to provide me with. And so I had all the resources, and I knew all the resources that I could go to that could help me. And I was like independent in that way, but also I helped my parents helped me out. But so I think, wait, what was the question real quick?
It's okay. So again, did you just feel limited, like because of your disability, you couldn't get into these universities, or you kind of felt like the
Oh,
standards were too high?
I knew based off of my grades from the very beginning that I would not get into any UCs from, in California, because, like why would I spend the money when I know that from the very beginning that I would not get like into these colleges with my GPA and my SAT score. So I kind of knew like, what I would get into, and like with my GPA and which in my major, and like California isn't the best, or is very competitive for nursing, and you do need to have the high GPA, and that's why I went out of state, like because I was able to get into Regis with my GPA, with my SAT scores, and then for my major. And so yes, there was some limit and there was some struggles, because some friends in high school, they applied to like 19 schools for history. And not to be mean to anything about rude to any history majors, but it's not as competitive as nursing or like a STEM major. So of course one of my friends, the friend that applied for 19 uh colleges, she was able to get into like 17 of those 19. So whereas I didn't, because I applied for a higher or a more competitive major with a lower GPA or something like that, if that makes sense. So like, yeah.
Okay, so just moving on. So if all colleges in the United States had a disability type program like Regis, would that kind of help, like make you feel that, I guess less stigmatized, or like knowing that there's colleges out there that have like a program that could still help you? Does that make
Um,
sense?
Yeah, no, it does. I think yes. I think there are still. I think I don't know if there are, but there might be some better like programs than Regis. But I think all colleges should have a disability type program because all students like have. I mean, not all students, but like there are students who go to college without knowing they have a disability. They don't, so sometimes like it's good that they have like a disability program or like resources that students can go to get tested if they like need to. So I think that's
Yeah. How has your mental health been since you've been a student at college? Moreover, like, has it improved since you've been from high school, or has it like disimproved? I know
um
with COVID, it might have disapproved, but
I think for being in a competitive program, it my mental health has definitely decreased and like made me really stressed out and really have a lot of anxiety. Um, so it's definitely not improved because in college, I mean, high school, like I did stress out. I did, worry about exams and all that stuff. But, it wasn't as stressful in some sense. But I think it definitely has gotten worse. I have never really like been this stressed out in my entire life until like being in college. I don't know. I think is definitely like there are times where I am not like optimistic and I feel like I want to give up, but um and like I have never really felt that way before. So yes, it's definitely been definitely gone worse. Plus I have never really had like mental health to really worry about. Like it's usually the only thing I need to worry about is just like my mental disabilities. So
okay. So, do you feel like Regis has helped you with your mental health, or do you think they do a good job of helping their students with mental health, or do you think they need to do a better job?
I have never actually used the counselors at Regis just because I don't know. I probably don't. I mean, I've always like never really had time to go. I mean, I've always been like pro like therapy, whatever, but probably not because being, I mean, like Regis is like number one in competitive, especially with the limited amount of
Can you
spaces.
repeat that real quick? It broke out.
What?
Could you repeat what you said? It broke up a little bit.
I was since like Regis, their nursing program has a limited amount of spaces. Like was very stressful making sure my grades were, you know, good where I would be able to be in the nursing program, and that has been like very stressful. Um, and I don't know. I guess it hasn't really helped me. It just made me more stressed out. Um, so no, Regis has not helped me with my mental health.
Okay, so do you think if you attended their therapy sessions, because to be fair, Regis does offer those and they've talked about those, do you think
Mm.
that would help? But or do you think they should still do more like sessions about mental health and talking about how serious it's became? And
Um, I don't really know because I mean, like, I think they're like talking about it would be a good thing, but at the same time, I think it's me just needing to like have better self care and like finding like an activity that helps me like de stress. And like, I think it's more like I need to like, it's like kind of more on me in a sense where I need to like focus and like, not focus, but like maybe time manage a little bit more or just like realize like not need to like stress so much or I don't know, something like that. Like sometimes I just need to like keep reassuring myself that I'm okay. And I don't think it's really the college's fault because it's like there's I don't know, like it's understandable why the college I guess nursing is the way it is, I guess. So
I'm not trying to blame the college at all. We're just wondering, the website is wondering if the college can do anything to help more, in a sense.
I think um I think with Regis's nursing program, it's set up where you're able to like because it's set up as a way of like you can't get a 75% or lower because then you're kicked out. But the reason why they have a 75% like not deadline, but like cutoff is because it's for like the NCLEX, and it's like for, because like, and it's something like along the lines of that. And so that's why they have it as 75%. But I think like once you get below that 75, people tend to like think that like, oh gosh, I'm not going to be a good nurse. Oh, I have to find something different, where it's really like just the college. Like people can be C students, people can be B students and be a great nurse in the future. Like you don't have to be like, an A student just to be a good nurse, if that
And I
makes
believe
sense.
that saying C's get degrees.
You mean D's get degrees or C's get,
I
yeah, I
don't,
know what you mean.
yeah.
Um, I just think like sometimes Regis's rules and their standards for nursing can definitely be very stressful towards students,
Mhm.
um, and be like very hard and, you know, kind of like a slap in the face. And sometimes, I guess, not a slap in the face, but like, I don't know, it definitely makes you think, oh, I'm not going to be a good nurse sometimes, or you definitely have those like stressful moments. And that's when it causes you to, I don't know, think poorly about yourself, if that makes sense.
Okay, last question. You've been great so far. So, if you could change one thing about colleges and ideas of including mental disabilities and help for those mental disabilities, what would it be?
Um, I think that, whatever mental disability you have, you can still be whatever you want. Like you can be a nurse and have dyslexia. You can have, you know, and that's like what colleges probably, I don't know, maybe should like have like tell that to students who have mental disabilities. Um, I think, I don't know. I think the ideas about including mental disabilities, I guess, would be like people are smart in their own way, especially with mental disabilities, and they're going to be different compared to like stereotypical smart people, I guess. I don't, if that makes sense.
No, it makes total sense.
Okay. I don't know. I think having like making sure that all colleges have a type of mental health, or not mental health, or mental disabilities program, and make sure that like teachers are like, can help and like give out resources. I think, or even like give out like free tutoring too. Because like, although like Regis, it's technically included in our tuition, tutoring is free, and that's really beneficial. I think that's a good thing. And like students should be like encouraged more to go to tutoring, like especially, I don't know, maybe even like put it for extra credit or something like that. I don't know, just so then they feel like not like stupid when they walk into disabilities room, or like discriminated against or looked down upon because they're going to tutoring, I
Mhm.
guess.
Okay, well, that was all the questions. Thank you so much. You were great.
Perfect.